Hello everyone, welcome to this talk. Today is March the 11th, 2021, and it marks 1 year since World Health Organization declared COVID as pandemic. It's very unusual that they did it because they normally don't, but anyway, when they did, it was a little bit too late, as you all know. COVID turned out to be a big disaster. We had a similar pandemic or kind of pandemic in 1918, and we'll compare that with this one. Um, we are way ahead in knowledge, resources, and our ability since then, and we should have done much, much, much better, but we did not. And this is what happened, in fact. And let's talk about all these things on a day when we are about a year from the time. Um, it's about 14 months. It started on 1st of January, 31st of December 2019, or 2020, 1st of January. So it's about 14 months now. Let's take a stock as to what happened, what mistakes were made, how such mistakes can be avoided. After all, if we do not plan, it's a plan to fail, as everyone knows. And if we do not prepare, it is a preparation to fail. Experts say the another kind of pandemic is around the corner, and we must take all the efforts to prevent such disaster again. Unprepared, we can't expect COVID to disappear or any other pandemic to disappear. Let's not finger point. Let's not go into politics. Let's honestly audit ourselves as to why and what we do and what did we do wrong. It is what it is today. Whatever happened has happened, no finger pointing. Let us accept facts and acknowledge the shortcomings, limitations, and mistakes so that we can probably, hopefully, do not do it again. And by acknowledging facts only, like a mature person, mature adults, we can then perhaps prepare ourselves. Thankfully, Bill Gates Foundation and others are working on such matters for almost 20 years. In 1999, I remember they have started investing almost $750 million, almost $1 billion minus, and since then they've invested a lot more, so it's about $1 billion. There are lots of organizations have been formed like COVAX, the Vaccine Alliance, the Advanced Market Commitment of Gavi. Gavi is another organization. Uh, Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, which is yet another organization. So a number of things are happening. And WHO is on top of it, of course. First case, as we know, reported in Wuhan was 12/31/19, as I said earlier. Since then, 118 million infections have happened in the world and 2.6 million deaths in about 14-15 months. And almost 20% of them has happened in USA, unfortunately, which has got only 5% of the world population. Another worst case is Europe, which we will discuss in a minute. In the flu of 1918-19, 500 people were, or almost 1/3 of the population got infected, and large number got dead, 50 million. We are much better off today because of our resources, because of our hygiene, because of lots of other things. But I don't think we should really take pride into that because we should not have had what we have had during this pandemic. As you know, severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, in 2002, and Middle East respiratory syndrome, MERS, in 2010, they were killers. 30, 40, 50% people died. COVID-19 is only 1 to 2%. And then only still we have got a lot many more deaths. Why? We'll have to look at that. The reason is perhaps COVID is perhaps a little more, I don't know, call it intelligent or whatever. It's got 2 to 14 days incubation. And 40% of people remain asymptomatic. And that's why they keep on spreading disease and we do not even know that they are infected. On 3/11, when the pandemic was declared, uh, those countries which have had suffered SARS and MERS in 2002 and 2009, like China and other Southeast Asian countries, they started, really pouncing on it. Wuhan was closed, as you know, Countries like Vietnam, South Korea, Taiwan, they started taking very quick measures to make sure that they don't really get affected. Cities were closed down, schools were closed. China totally closed the Wuhan city, as you know. Incoming flights from China were stopped into neighboring countries like Vietnam and Taiwan. In USA, what did we do? And Europe also. January 21st was the first case that we had. And on February 29th was the first death was reported. And since then, 2.5 million in only about a year's time. Very bad. We have on 131, flights from China was stopped. This January end, almost 31 days after we already knew. We declared emergency on March 13th, almost a year ago. In Europe, particularly Italy and UK, were most laid back and suffer most. Our reaction should have been no panic. It's not the end of the world. It will go away today, tomorrow, or sometime. But we need to be aware, informed, and start acting on it. Darwin may have said that survival of the fittest, but I think it's the survival of the smartest. If we are smart and we stay away from COVID, we can probably save ourselves. A year ago, when it started, prevention is the only way because even today, the specific treatments are not available, and that's another thing that we need to work on. Common sense public health measures are the only ways. Targeted cleaning of the flat surfaces, frequently touched places should be cleaned very often. ATM pads, elevator buttons, etc., etc. Start thinking that you and everyone around is infected, and then perhaps you can stay away from it. Stay at home, wear mask, keep 6 feet distance. These are all normals. Avoid crowds, have a good ventilation so that the viral load is the lowest possible. Mask and sanitizer all around continuously. Soon we understood though that 60 plus and comorbidity people were very bad and most afflicted. 50% of the nursing home residents, I think, have died. Now, the overall picture is that 80% are mild to moderate infections. 40% may not even know that they're symptomatic because they're asymptomatic. 15% may need medical treatment. 5% may need ventilator, and only about 1% dies. But that 1% is very large. One case study is Vietnam. This less than 100 million, just about one third of our population in USA. They have got only 35 deaths, 35, and 2,553 cases, and it's all recorded basically. They are really good at records. They were closed. Airports were closed immediately on January 12th last year, and schools were closed. They were very prepared, and they were aggressive, resolute, and determined in action. Strong political will and clear vision. There were applications on the telephones that if you come in contact with anyone that has had the COVID, well, you will have to probably get tested and this, that, and other. But there was a national steering committee which was in place by the end of January, which I think I suppose Europe and USA did not have. Quarantine was mandatory for all international passengers. Schools were closed on January 15th, and they opened again in mid-May last year. So quick scaling of testing, tracing, isolation, and treatment does help. They were doing 1,000 people tests for every confirmed case of COVID. And there are 3 degrees of separations: contacts and contacts, and contacts. Anyway, so let's get into that. We have got many number of vaccines now. And I think we are fortunate that within a year we have prepared the vaccines, and thanks to WHO and Bill Gates Foundation and a lot of other organizations. Vaccines are Pfizer BioNTech, Moderna, Oxford AstraZeneca in UK, Johnson & Johnson. China has got 2 vaccines, and the other 3 vaccines are in line. Sinovac, Sinopharm. There's Russian vaccine, Gamaleya, Sputnik 5, and Bharat Biotech. So, and even Cuba and Canada are on way of finding some vaccines also, and China has got some more coming in. Brazil, Turkey, UAE, and South Africa are buying the Chinese vaccine, and hopefully they should be able to really quickly vaccinate a lot of people. Today, Israel and the UK are at the top of the list who have vaccinated a lot of people of their citizens. Um, the one another thing that has happened is the long hauler of COVID, which a lot of people do not know. There are a lot of people continue having symptoms. There are 60,000 people in UK, and other countries have got it, but we don't know how many. There are a lot of emotional issues because traditional funerals are not there. Uh, Relatives cannot go to the hospital. People die in the hospital without the relatives present, and well, some people get buried or even cremated without their permission. These are the issues, and I think we need to probably look into that and probably be prepared for the next and make some arrangements for the arrangement before the next pandemic hurts us. Lead by example. Leadership must lead by example, which did not happen this time. Um, we have seen, 90 minutes of yelling in the debates of the political debates in the end of September, October. Um, uh, Basically, I think we have done lots of wrong things, and we have really created a lot of really super spreaders, which was bad. The available treatments are almost none. Still, even today, it's the cortisone, remdesivir, convalescent plasma, and monoclonal antibody are the only things. Some people use chloroquine, ivermectin, and colchicine. One additional thing that is vitamin D, which seems to be useful. I think everyone should use it and everyone should have. That's my personal opinion, though. Um, a lot of places, including Texas, are opened as of yesterday, the 10th of March, which I think is a little bit too early. But then it is not an order that you do everything that you were doing. You take your own risk profile and take as much risk as you can, no more. And I think personally, I will keep on wearing the mask until the end of this year. Let me give you my personal example and what happened with me. I had both vaccines in January and February, two doses. I had a small procedure about 2 weeks ago in hospital. I went there, had the procedure, came back, and I self-imposed myself into quarantine for a week. At the end of the week, I thought I should go out, but before doing that, I got myself tested. Lo and behold, I was positive. Fortunately, Fortunately, I did not have much of respiratory symptom. Only thing that I had was um, a little bit diarrhea and sleep disturbances and little feverishness, but not quite fever. Fever as such, temperature was never beyond 98.4. So I'm still under quarantine. I will probably be out of quarantine end of this week, and hopefully everything will be all right. Reason you should be careful, and everyone should be careful, is that there are lots of variants of concern, particularly UK variant and South Africa variant and Brazil variant and California variant. I think be smart, not not smart, but smart test. COVID is not usual run-of-the-mill enemy. I think you can defeat it. Get vaccinated as soon as possible, as soon as they are entitled. Pandemic playbook that was created by Obama in the last administration must be recreated. Equitable with these things as well, that is giving the vaccines to those people who do not have it and cannot afford it. Well, with that, good luck, best wishes, and let's get prepared ourselves for the next issue if there is any. Thank you very much.